Welcome to BGN.TV. I'm here with Ravico. I'm the Codex. As you know, this is a pre-NextGen release episode, and we're basically touching base on some of the features of the consoles that are coming out, and just giving a little roundup of the information that we found. Be wondering, is it the social aspect of gaming that is really going to bring the next-gen experience that everybody's looking for?
I think that is exactly what will bring it there, because at the end of the day, when you purchase a game, you mainly look for online play. You don't really play campaign anymore per se, unless you're playing Final Fantasy or one of those blockbuster titles.
I think so too as well, because a lot of the game developers now, I see they're pushing this whole seamless single player multiplayer situation. I mean, we got Need for Speed Rivals, who's doing it with their all drive system. We have Division, who's doing it as well. I believe The Crew, and a lot of other games are coming up with this experience where it's seamless, and that's not a bad thing. I actually like the whole idea. Some players might not feel as good about it because they like their whole single player experience to be a totally different thing to the multiplayer experience. But you kind of go back to how the games were on, like, PlayStation 1 and 2, where we had a few games that would just be single player, and
you had to get that multi-jab to get your phrase come over though.
Yeah, but with the internet situation going on now and a lot of the internet capabilities that we're going to have, I think that it's actually kind of a good idea to push the whole multiplayer aspect, because it brings the whole social thing. I mean, we have Facebook and Twitter. Nobody likes to leave home without their phone now, so
yeah.
So that brings us to a question: what do you believe is the best current gen game of all time? That is a question to you. So just hashtag with current gen right below the screen in the comments and let us know. So we kind of move on to next gen now. What are you excited for? PlayStation 4, Xbox One?
I would say I am for Xbox One, even though the conference was a bit disappointing.
Why you say Xbox One? Why not PlayStation?
Because Xbox One, the experience, the Kinect, is just something totally different. It's just great. Because the current gen Kinect was awesome, and now they just took it to the next level. I mean, there's so much you can do with Kinect now, voice commands, everything. It's just awesome.
PlayStation isn't no slouch either, because I mean, they have the touchpad that they're introducing. They bring back the 6-axis in the DualShock 4. They're offering remote play, which I think is kind of brilliant, to be able to play from at home and control your friend's game if need be. It could be kind of interesting how players will utilize it. So we just look forward to see what these two machines would bring. Especially, it's not only about the hardware, but it's about what the games are. And we know there are a lot of developers out there who are looking forward to pushing these consoles to the limit.
And what game are you most excited for? Next generation?
Well, next generation, I'm torn between multi-platform and exclusive games, mainly Xbox One, and that's only because I come from Xbox 360, but that's also because I also believe in the Kinect system, and as a family person, the Kinect is kind of nice to have party games and have some friends over and to enjoy that whole socialization thing. So it should be pretty cool. So Need for Speed Rivals is one of the next gen games I'm looking forward to. Perhaps Forza Motorsport 5 and a few Final Fantasy games. I'm torn between a lot. I just still have to sit down and look for it. But one game I'm actually looking forward to is Division, and that is going to be released later on in 2014. So it should be fun to look forward to.
Division is a bit impressive. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. But for me, what I'm really looking forward to is Killzone Shadowfall for PlayStation 4. Beautiful game, it's really beautiful. And they're saying that the AI is actually pretty advanced now, so it increases the difficulty in the game, so that remains to be seen.
Well, okay, that's kind of like how Forza is. The Forza 5 with their drive system, that's kind of decent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cloud gaming. Wonderful thing.
As we know, the PlayStation 4 is rolling with 8 gigabytes of GDDR5, sorry, and the Xbox One is rolling with 8 gigabytes of DDR3. No, the difference between these two, a lot of people think that because the number 5 means more and better, I think it has a better RAM. But is it really true? Well, it's true. What does it translate into?
Well, that's not necessarily true, because in the case of GDDR5, it has higher bandwidth, but it has more latency, and the DDR3, well, it has lower bandwidth, but not as much latency as the PS4 would have.
Right, so what this would mean basically is that the GDDR5, the PlayStation 4, will be able to load a lot larger textures into the RAM and basically compute that, offload that, while the Xbox One will be possibly loading this information in smaller chunks. but faster. So it depends on the developers and how they're able to use the capabilities of these two systems to really push next gen to the next level and really give us that gaming experience that we want. But we probably shouldn't see a drastic change in difference in graphics and gameplay across both platforms.
Well, that's a very interesting point, Dakota, because as I recall, the PS3 was supposed to be this powerhouse and it was supposed to outshine the Xbox 360, but as you can see on the multi-platform titles now, you don't really see much of a difference in the game, the quality of the game.
It's true. I mean, but coming down to the end of it, we can see that a lot of developers definitely pushed hard on the PlayStation 3. I mean, we had Last of Us and these other games that were quite well done for the PlayStation 3. And the difference between these two systems now, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, is kind of small because they're both using the same chip, the same CPU chip, whereas opposed to the chip that the PlayStation 3 was using on the 360, which was a bit difficult to use. So said developers. So we definitely have to see how things roll in next gen now. About the policies, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you know, they had a lot of controversy around these two.
Xbox.
Yeah, mainly with the Xbox, as Ravico is saying. We had a whole bloat online about these petitions being signed and so forth. But let's talk a little bit of what we gained and what we lost.
Well, personally, I didn't have a problem with the DRM feature the Xbox implemented. It was actually kind of nice because as someone, I like to carry my games and I don't usually lend them out per se, so it's not a problem for me. But I guess people still like to be able to trade in their games and lend them out and what's not. But losing that, we also lost family share, which was pretty interesting, which I would like to see back on the Xbox One.
We probably might be able to see it back as well for digital titles, of course. But we actually also gained the fact that it's no region unlocked, so we don't have these blocks going on anymore that the PlayStation, that the Xbox 360 had. And well, that's something to look forward to. Now the thing is too is that the price. Now the price tag on the PlayStation 4 is $399. On the Xbox One is $499 US, of course. When it reaches Barbados, of course, the prices will change and differ depending on retail prices, the market prices, and if there's any taxes associated and all that sort of thing. And you know, persons are saying, why do we have the Kinect included with the Xbox One? And they're wondering about that. Do you think it was a smart move by Microsoft?
I think it was a smart move by Microsoft because, I mean, at the end of the day, you put in all that hard work into something. You want people to experience it. And from current gen, the Kinect was an awesome experience, the voice controls and everything. And they doubled that and made it an awesome experience. And they want everyone to experience that. So I believe it was a good move on Microsoft's part.
Because every developer knows that a Kinect will be included, so they can develop for it. And it won't become a gimmick like how some people were saying the first Kinect version was, because it was released post console, and you know, because of that only a few people had it. It's a good idea, perhaps not developed to be the best, but we can see what Kinect 2.0 brings. Which leads to the camera for the PlayStation and the fact that they left it out to undercut the price of the Xbox One. A lot of people are praising this, but it also means that the camera then will become just a gimmick for the PlayStation. And the sad thing is that they had this pretty cool thing that they're loading onto the PlayStation 4. This game where, you know, these little bots are inside the control and they move around, and it's actually pretty interesting. And I'd like to check it out, but I have to go and buy a camera as well. And you know,
I personally wasn't buying that camera.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they really need to step up the game in terms of the camera capability for the PlayStation. Microsoft have outdone themselves so far, I think, for the Kinect version 2.0. And I mean, they have this new game that's going to come. Well, not really a game, like a fitness program. It's going to be, I think, for 1 year for Xbox Live subscribers, gold subscribers. It's going to be 1 year free. So that should be interesting to check out.
On the topic of PS4, I am very excited because of the titles that they have releasing. On PS3, I played Infamous, and I'm very happy to see Infamous Second Son.
Of course, on the Xbox One side, we have Forza 5, which is looking gorgeous, running at a native 1080p 60 frames per second. The only downside to Forza, I believe, is the fact that they are using big lighting system, and it's not dynamic weathering. So I mean, it's kind of poor without the day and night cycle that we're kind of accustomed to, and I wish they had included. But I am excited about the Drivatar system that they're gonna have, which means that the AI is gonna change and evolve over time, and that's actually pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Utilizing that cloud.
Yeah, utilizing the cloud. One thing to know is do not expect the cloud to render or help render graphics. That's not what the cloud is there for. It might help do some background work, like making the density of certain textures better and the quality, but don't expect it to really render the graphics. It's actually there for online computational power, mainly stuff that's going to be done on the multiplayer side, and to keep things a bit even. And we can look forward to 300,000, so says Microsoft, servers to be dedicated to gaming come the release of next-gen console Xbox One, which brings us to the release date. When is PlayStation 4 being released?
That'll be on November 15th, 2013, and the Xbox One would be November 22nd.
Yeah. And of course, if you can pick it up, you can pick it up. It's not going to be available in all regions, but the fact that they're region unlocked means that you can play them wherever. So it should be pretty cool. It should be pretty cool.
And you, the viewer, you can leave a comment and let us know which console you'll be getting on release.
Will that be the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One? Feel free to let us know why as well. And if you have any gameplay that you think is amazing from your current gen that you would like to share, feel free to email us. The email is right there, and we'll be able to include it in the next episode that we have.
Question. What is your favorite game in current gen?
Current gen, I would have to say Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends. Why? The graphics are just stunning. They're hand-drawn. The system that Ubisoft has been using was quite impressive, and it felt good. Even though it was 2D, it just felt amazing, and I like that experience. It was challenging at some points, but it brought me back to my childhood days of playing games like Mario and so forth on the Nintendo system, and it was quite well done. I like the speed of the game as well. There was 1 or 2 frame rate dips here and there, but not many. Not very noticeable, and that usually happened just after the loading time, so it wasn't really not that much a big thing. What about you? What was your favorite?
Well, without a doubt, hands down, Gears of War. Awesome series, epic game, brilliant story. That's all.
Until next time, stay tuned to BGN.TV.